Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Manic Miners. Actually, you know what? After about 19 parts of doing this, there's not a lot of point in me saying anything. Let's just get the hell on with it. This cavern has proven to be a tricky one. Our scanners say there are plenty of energy crystals, but they are all stuck inside of hard rock. Transport down an adequate drilling vehicle and drill through the hard rock to collect 50 energy crystals. Goodness, doesn't that sound positively straightforward? Oh my giddy aunt. This seems familiar. I feel like we did a custom level that looked a wee bit like this at some point. I can't hear any music. Let me open up one of the settings menu and see if we can hear some music. Because I thought that perhaps we could listen to... where is it? This one. Yes. Because I've never heard this music before, and this is made by some nice music person who does music things. Yes, I have musical knowledge. Right, should we give some people spades and things like that? That would probably be a good way to begin. So, yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a wee bit more of Manic Miners and Baz Mod. I see that we're starting off with a few buildings. This area behind here looks flat enough for us to construct some more. So we'll need ourselves a support station, and then we could get a small digger, but that probably won't be enough because it drills through at such an appallingly slow rate. Goodness, this map is actually a bit bigger than I gave it credit for. There's quite a lot over here, and hopefully not a lot of eroding lava. I'm not entirely sure when that's going to come in. I like this music though. This is quite spookylicious music. Like me a nice spookylicious tune, so I do. Has this been upgraded? No, of course it hasn't. Yes, sorry, completely lost my chain of thought. I was trying to remember in which level the sort of eroding lava becomes apparent to a player. And that's probably Erode Works, I would guess. It's probably the first one where it's an actual genuine problem that you need to deal with. I was going to say it kind of acts as a tutorial for the mechanic, but no, it kind of doesn't. I can't remember if one of the original tutorials actually explains how you're supposed to handle eroding lava. Because goodness knows if I remember correctly, the original game didn't explain that tremendously well. Right then, let's plonk this here, if that's not too much to ask. I like this. This is spooky. This is spookylicious, if I may go so far as to say such a thing. Right, how many crystals is this going to give us exactly? Because we're going to need 2 more to put in there, which will only leave us with 2 left over, which isn't very much at all, although we'll have plenty of ore which we can use to upgrade our tool store for the sake, in fact it's already been upgraded once of course, for accessing the teleport pad. So we can get plenty of dynamite, which might give us a starting point to work our way through here if we don't have enough to get a super teleport pad and something like a granite grinder down, which would be my personal preference. Yes, we're definitely not going to have enough. Well, this sounds positively cheery, doesn't it? I never really trust cheery music. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's from playing too many horror games, but I never quite trust cheery music. Alright, let's upgrade the tool store first, because we're obviously not going to get enough crystals in order to both build the super teleport and also get a vehicle down. So let's start blowing up a few things. But no, I've realised where this seems familiar from. It doesn't seem familiar from a customs level. It's familiar from one of the original levels whose name I am beginning to forget. Is it Waterworks? It's like the one where there's a little island like this with a couple of buildings on it to start with, and there's relatively limited air supply, and then there's some dirt behind you in the rock biome that you can drill down, and then there's some there's water everywhere, and you have to go off to get little islands, and If you're not careful, if you drill through one of the little pathways along here, then your men all run off there to do jobs that are a million miles away instead of doing the things which are much closer, and they waste your air, which is a massive pain in the bottom if you're playing the original game. But never mind, none of that silliness. Let's see what more we can find. 3 more crystals. Fantastic. Let's plonk let's plonk an absolute muppet into playing the game, because he hasn't got the faintest idea that he needs to upgrade his support station before he builds himself a super teleport pad, but never mind that. I also realised that we've got abundant air supplies here, so there's no reason why we shouldn't get plenty of peeps, he says, completely forgetting the number of peeps that he's got to hand. Is that 10? Or is that 11? No, that's 10. Alright. And just to be on the safe side... Actually, let me just... I'm sure it wouldn't bug out, but just in case it does bug out, Axe, I'm just going to wait for you to put that down. Let me give you all guns, just in case. Because now that we've had Frozen Frenzy, which presumably is going to be used as the tutorial level for monsters, there's no reason to believe that Baz wouldn't implement a few beasts that we have to deal with from time to time, now that we're playing these more mysterious levels that took up the spaces that the old tutorial levels used to take up. These ones like Hard Rock Life and Mine Over Mana. Or was it Mine Over Matter? Goodness knows I can't remember. Goodness knows that's the disadvantage of doing these episodes months apart from one another. No, don't turn the power off. How many crystals have we got now? We've got 4 spare. We could turn that off, and we could briefly turn that off, because then we could get this, and then we turn that off and turn that back on. Lovely stuff. We won't be able to upgrade this very much, but other than that, everything should be fine. Right. Let's put our resident geologist into this drilling machine and see what we can find. But no, as I was saying, I of course have no idea what to expect from these more mysterious levels. There could be any number of beasts and monsters and slugs, and given that we're in the lava biome, I presume that if we do have to battle with beasts, they will be lava monsters, which of course are much stronger than your rock monster or ice monster variant. They're not exactly your garden variety death-dealing load of dirt. So yes, I need to be careful. I need to be very careful. I am going to attempt to build a upgrade station, because I'd quite like to get some little trucks at some point as well, because I get the distinct impression that people are going to have to walk quite a long way in order to get anywhere or get anything done. So let's have a look on the old bippity radar and see what we could... Oh, interesting. Well, oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I see what you mean about the hard rock life now. It literally is hard rock absolutely everywhere. Funky music. I thoroughly approve. No, what I was being surprised by is this. Because I assumed when I saw that all of this was solid rock that there'd be no way of getting through here, and all of this space over here would just be solid rock. But no, that's clearly rubbish, because there are walls through here that we can, if the little message would ever pop up. Except it won't. Thank you. Why can't... hang on, what the hell is going wrong with this thing? Why won't it read off the little messages and say, like, undiscovered cavern and hard rock? I'm not sure why that's not working. Some little bug seems to have occurred. I'm not talking about some sort of flippity-flappity insect. Curious. Never mind, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure that that's hard rock. That's back there. In fact, we can confirm it by that's hard rock, isn't it? Yes, okay, definitely. So, yeah, so we've got hard rock all the way back here, which is going to be a bit of a trial to cut through that. But it looks like there's also a cavern somewhere over here, so presumably there's a pathway that leads around the back here that we can have a wee look at. So let me bring the thing over here and have it track the granite grinder so that we can keep a good track of it and see what more we can find around here. I'd really rather like to get some loader dozers as well, because A, they're landslide immune, and B, they can reinforce walls relatively quickly and expediently without the danger of taking any damage. So I feel like tactically that would be a sound decision. But first I want to get ourselves this upgrade station. So let me plonk that there. And also, have we got any energy crystals coming home? Yes, we've got a few from the seam. That seems excellent, if you ask me. So yeah, this is going to be quite interesting. So I don't reckon there'll be very much in this direction. Obviously there's no way we could break a pathway through there, although perhaps I shouldn't say that, given that it's rather dangerous to ever underestimate Baz. Having a upgrade station would also be useful, because it will allow us to mend this granite grinder when it inevitably gets bashed to bits by a barrage of boulders. But yeah, I reckon there might be a few bits and bobs over here, but the main meat of the matter is going to be in this direction, where there seems to be some sort of lump here. I don't know if you can quite make that out. There's a decent bit for looking at. Yeah, there we are. There's some sort of lump going on here. Not sure what this is, but it is lumpy, and it is bumpy, and it has bumped up my curiosity. So I imagine that we'll figure it out in due time. See, I'd like to get this seam here for those crystals, but then I'm a little nervous of the people walking along here, because they're probably going to get hit by lots of landslides. So they're saying that most of this stuff is corner pieces, so perhaps there isn't all that much to worry about. That piece would be a pain in the bum, as would that piece. But other than that, we might be alright. So what I'm going to do is try and mine out some of the more dangerous bits, so that we can get access to this all the sooner, and get ourselves a loader dozer. Because then we can send that off to do reinforcement works, and we won't have to worry about anything blowing up. Speaking of blowing up, I don't think I'll do it in this level. I think I'll do it in the explosive action level that we'll do after this one. But I have been made aware, shall we put it as such, of a mischievousness, shall we say, that I believe is doable within this game. I have no idea how long this has been in the game, because I've only discovered it while reading a changelog vaguely recently. The changelog was talking about mending a bug related to, and I think this is a direct quote, unintended consequences of getting into a vehicle while carrying dynamite. Now, I am not a dynamitologist. It may shock you to learn that fact, but I'm not a dynamitologist. However, I, with my complete lack of knowledge, can assume that the unintended consequences is something exploding, right? So, much like last time, or the time before that, or whenever the hell it was, when at the end we went to see about this interaction with the slugs, I think it might be kind of interesting to see what happens if I get someone with a bit of dynamite and then put them inside of a vehicle. And I should probably make sure that it's not a digger, because it's dynamite resistant. So I want to make sure that I don't do it with that. I'd really rather you people didn't clear rubble that was underneath walls that are going to landslide. I know that they don't clear rubble from landslides until either the wall has been reinforced or mined out, but they do seem to clear it like the original piece of rubble that's there from destroying the wall that used to be there, which has ore under it. Ow. But yeah. I appreciate that they do that, because it means that you actually do get the ore, because of course a piece of rubble like this, for example, if we mine this out, we'd get 4 pieces of ore from it, but if we allow a landslide to occur on top of it, then the ore will be destroyed, and will be lost. So by clearing it quickly, you can gather that ore up, although ore is scarcely a scarce resource. And I feel like if a monster was going to spawn, it would have spawned by now. So I'm hopeful. Right, let me turn this off. Can I get a loaded dozer? Yes, I can! Excellent! You, my friend, by quality of location, have elected to become the driver of this vehicle. So let me get this thing upgraded a bit, and then we'll also upgrade you as well. And then that will just be able to clear some rubble and do some reinforcements in a nice, safe device without having to worry about anything getting damaged. Lovely stuff. Oh, also, there's something else that I want to mention, which lots of other people probably already knew about, but I only realised this recently. You know how this thing can jump? That was not a tremendous jump, Docs. Do you mind if I do it as well? Boing! Splat! Just splatted Axel. But never mind. I'm sure he'll survive. He survived several episodes without having a face, so being splattered by a granite grinder will probably be nothing by comparison. But no, What are you doing? I didn't spend 5 crystals on you so you could sit on your arse, man. Kitty heart. No, I've realised that the granite grinder being able to jump is not totally without precedent or canon or however you want to describe it, because I realised that some of the original Lego Rock Raiders sets came with sort of miniature comics, if you like. Comics didn't have any words in them because, you know, old Lego, but yes, and I realised that in one of them, can't remember which set it is, it's either the granite grinder set or the loader dozer set, there's a little comic of a granite grinder and a loader dozer having a race, and in it the granite grinder jumps over the loader dozer, so it is actually sort of canonized, if you like, for want of better terminology, that the granite grinder can jump. It's not just an idea that they kind of pulled out of their arse. So isn't that nice? Nice to see how it all links up, and I hope that that's where the idea for giving the granite grinder its jumping ability came from, because that would be quite cool. This is quite slow going, isn't it? I kind of want to go around and explore instead of just mining out random bits of rock, because I feel that's going to be a bit more visually interesting for you. But what I feel like I'm going to need for that is a second drilling machine. Otherwise this is going to go quite slowly and quite boringly, which I imagine is probably not the idea to be boring, but the idea to be a bit slower paced. I'm sure that's probably the idea of this level, given that it's all about hard rock. But then on the other hand, I really want to spend my crystals on getting trucks, so these little guys don't have to run around quite so much. Although saying that, if I build, because this is the thing that I never used to do back in the old days, but I've realised it's actually a really useful tactic, if I build a little outpost, as it were, of just a little tool store here, then they can dump all the ore in there instead of having to faff around carrying it all the way home. They'll still need to carry crystals home and go home when they want sandwiches, but this should speed them up at least on the ore front, so won't that be lovely? We've got enough crystals now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down... kind of want that. Oh, you don't need the mining laser anymore. Oh, goodness. That's interesting. Alright, I'll have that. I was going to say I'd get a mining laser, but I can't, or rather I get a large mobile laser cutter, but I can't because I don't have a... I'm sorry, the hell was that? The hell was that I saw on that you possibly didn't see on the upgrade menu? So you can upgrade its... whatever it was that I just upgraded, goodness only knows, the engine, I think. You can also upgrade its laser, and it seems like they've added another upgrade that I'm not aware of, because this only used to have 2. Add terrain navigation. The hell are you talking about? Oh my giddy man alive, I was looking at the wrong thing. I think I know what this is. Yes, I do. This is not a thing that they've added. This is a Baz Mod thing. Yes, I'd forgotten about this. The large mobile laser cutter can drive on lava in Baz Mod. I'd forgotten about that. I thought that that was just an inherent trait of the large mobile laser cutter in Baz Mod. Completely forgotten about it, which is incredibly stupid of me. But I remember what they said about it having grey wheels. That's probably why I didn't think of it when I initially saw it, because of course it didn't have its grey wheels. And I think, unless I'm mistaken, that if I set you over here, if I just set this to be drilled, there we go. I'm not entirely sure when this came about, but they've added a kind of a passive drilling function for laser vehicles, which is pretty darned awesome. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the bottom because the granite grinder is constantly going to try and contribute to that as well. Although if we put them next to each other, they can kind of support one another. Because look, they'll still be able to shoot at it, which will weaken it a bit. And then the granite grinder can come over to finish off whatever's left. Cool. And then when I want to leave it behind, I can leave it there to finish up the jobs that I've left for it. Isn't that just excellent? The answer to that question is yes. Yes, you can just tell it to drill stuff. Isn't that plain awesome? That's really cool. I really like that. I really like how Manic Miners is not the loaded dozer, for goodness sake. I really like how Manic Miners is taking advantage of the abilities that the laser vehicles have, because I do feel like they were a wee bit underappreciated in the... hang on a minute, we're not even tracking anybody. Sorry. Are we tracking? Hang on. Tracking, there we go. I've sent him off to do a bit more, and then we'll leave the laser cutter to do this. Yeah, I very much appreciate and approve of the lengths that Manic Miners is going to try and make more use of the laser vehicles, because I do feel like they were a bit underappreciated and underutilized in the main game. I know that in Manic Miners, when you shoot a laser at great distance, it drains crystals. It doesn't consume crystals, but it drains them. Can I tell you to shoot that? No, that's kind of a shame, because with laser vehicles you can shoot ones in the middle, which can make drilling slightly more efficient. Because there we are, I've just destroyed 3 pieces there instead of only destroying 2. So isn't that just a bully set of circumstances? Oh goodness! Oh goodness! It's a good thing we've got the large mobile laser cutter actually, because we'd be in a right pickle if we didn't. It's just some funkalicious tunes. Right. Never mind you. You're going to have to come over here. Oh look! It's not hard rock. Ain't that lovely? Right then, I was going to set you to drill all this stuff out actually. I don't think I will. I'll just get as far as that crystal seam, and then we'll have a look through here, because it might be that this links up with this somehow, and it's just that this goes faster if you've got, oh, finally! Finally some walls that aren't hard rock. I never thought I'd be so pleased to see them in my life. Okay, hang on a sec, let me just set... Which one is it? This one? Yes, this one, and then the one behind it to drill, so we can set up like a queue of jobs. No, not you, you great goosesaurus. Crying out loud. There we are. It's not dreadfully easy to manage these things. Alright, is this... No, this does carry on going. Interesting. Alright, let me bring you over here to drill this out, ideally before everyone gets smashed to bits by this bit of wall here. And then in the meantime, I'm going to get you to start drilling off in this direction. Because this should lead us around the back of here, towards this lump that I see here. Did we ever discover the source of the lump over here? Not really, no. Alright, fair enough. Oh, you didn't go off to follow him that time. Curious. Curious. Most curious indeed. Right, so basically all of this is hard rock, isn't it? Which is a bit of a pain in the bum. But we can definitely get to this seam here, and it looks like there's a line of solid rock along here, but maybe if I drill through here, I can, like, come to here, and then there'll only be that one piece left in the middle, which will then collapse down. So we might be able to join these spots up, which would certainly make my life a bit easier. So let me see what I can do here. Yes, there we are, excellent. My plan has worked brilliantly, he says, pressing all of the wrong buttons. Yes, there we are. So we've linked those two bits together now. So let me drill out this loose rock over here. I do kind of wish that you didn't stand right in front of the wall. That's slightly annoying, because you're slightly likely to get your face bashed in. But never mind. Never mind all the frickin' face bashing. Let's actually move the tracker and do it on the large mobile laser cutter for the time being. And come over here so that we can get a better look at the scenery and see what we can find. I know it's not just the seams that will have crystals in them. It is worth looking at other places as well to try and find. I do love the dual lasers on this because if you shoot real careful, like you can actually sort of shoot between the seam, as it were, or like on either sides of the seam between the two walls, and then you can destroy them both at the same time, which is pretty darn cool. Right, so let me see what else we can find around here. I don't know whether we'll have time to drill out absolutely everything. Thank you. But we will certainly see what we can do. Of course, we'll have to get up to 50. Although saying that, we'd get... What did we put into the large mobile laser color? I want to say 10. 8. My mistake. We put 8 into that. There's also 8 for the Chrome Crusher. Oh, it's 10 for the tunnel transport, isn't it? Derp, Brian. Hooray! We've linked the two lines together. Excellent. This must be how they feel when they finish the Panama Canal. Excellent. Anything over here? No, so this is just a bit of hard rock, and then so look, it's actually faster than to bring the crystals all the way around here instead of it is to bring them all the way back there. Although saying now, that doesn't really surprise me now that I look at the ridiculous distance that's going on here. But never mind any of that silliness. Could you actually go for that one, please? Thank you very much. And then if we come over here, is there anything over here? I don't know, we can't quite see yet. There is another seam. There is at least one more seam to be had. So is that everything around here? I reckon so, yes. So let me set you to drill out these bits, and then you can come back down here and finish off drilling out these bits over here. Here we go. I like this. This is cool. I don't know if I'm a massive fan of the grey colour on here. I feel like light grey doesn't quite work, because light grey is not a colour that is used very much in the theme. Obviously you've got little bits of it, like here and here and here and here and then here and then here and here as well. Okay, fair enough. Light grey is featured in basically every single item. Okay, fair enough. But I don't know. Maybe not in such large quantities. I feel like maybe if they were dark grey or like a shiny metallic grey, I feel like they might look a bit better. But I don't know, they look kind of untextured when they're light grey. I'm not a massive fan of that. But that's just an aesthetic thing. And if it's a holdover from the Baz Mod, I feel like it's probably better to be authentic to the original Baz Mod rather than tailing to people's particular aesthetic pleasures. Now, if you would stop walking off in all of the wrong directions. Would it be kind of nice if you could, like, assign a vehicle to an area? So I could say, like, I don't know, hold down a certain button to assign and then, like, draw a box, like, here. And then this vehicle will only respond to jobs that are done in this area. It could be useful for, like, a loader dozer to just make it focus on one specific area so that it could do a large number of jobs without, can we stop looking directly down? I feel a bit scared when you do that. Let's bring it down here, I suppose, to drill out a few more bits, because we still need another 12 crystals. Although saying that, we've got probably a good 6 or so coming here, so we just need a handful more, and there's a few more there as well, actually. Yeah, they should be alright, actually. I don't reckon we'll need to do any more. But no, I think being able to, like, assign a vehicle to an area could be quite useful if you particularly wanted this bit of area cleared of rubble, for example, but you didn't want to sit here monitoring the loader dozer and telling it to go back to the pieces every time it wanders off. Although saying that, the AI, particularly of the loader dozers, is a lot better these days compared to how it used to be. The loader dozer was kind of famous, at least in my experience, of clearing a piece of rubble over here and then going off to clear a piece of rubble about 10 miles away and constantly sort of bouncing from one side of the map instead of staying on one side of the map and clearing things out in a local area and then moving off to another one. The AI is much better these days for figuring those sorts of things out, but yeah, I don't know, it might be nice. If, like, you've got a big map and you've got 2 drilling vehicles, you could assign the granite grinder to one side of the map and a different granite grinder to a different side of the map, and you wouldn't have to worry about them wandering off to do each other's jobs by accident. Hooray, we did it! Aren't we pleased with ourselves? Alrighty then. Have we discovered all of the caverns? Is there basically, I'm sorry, what the hell happened there? Is there, like, solid rock all around the outskirts of our map? There's no other places that we might discover. I don't. Well, there's a thing here we haven't had a look at. Let me bring us over here. This might possibly have something of interest behind it. It's worth a quick poke, at least. Just poke the earth and see what happens. There was nothing of interest behind it. The poking failed miserably. Oh well, never mind. We're going to have to wait for these crystals to come back, because I can't bear to, Oh my giddy aunt. I can't bear to leave any behind, although I am, of course, leaving some behind, because we're not strip mining this place. But, yeah, we're going to have to wait for Axel. Oh my giddy aunt Axel, you slowpoke. Well, he was supposed to be the one who was all enthused about, race cars and stuff. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Jet has got hers in. There's Jet, goodness. Jet is an expedient sort. But, yeah, we'll just plonk this one in and then we'll go off and have a look at explosive action, I reckon, given that we spent about half an hour on this one. And I do want to, for as long as possible at least, keep 2 levels per video. Ding! Good. That's about enough of that, I reckon. Yeah. I'm glad I was able to show you the difference to the large mobile laser cutter, because I'd completely forgotten about it. Isn't that cool? Excellent work utilising your hard rock drilling skills to find all 50 crystals. Doesn't that just leave one feeling chuffed?
Down in the dirt. Milton fell down. Down in the dirt.
That is the same person, isn't it?
Milton fell down.
There's a similarity, but there's also a difference.
Down in the dirt.
Like they recorded them on a different day, or they recorded them using a different microphone. I presume that these are all voiced by Baz. I can't possibly imagine who else it would be. But, yes, no, that just sounds a bit different. Never mind. Well, that's probably some of the levels that we'll do next month, which means we'll have more interesting ones to explore. But, no, I was glad I was able to show you the particular special Baz Mod bit of the large mobile laser cutter, because, of course, that is a unique feature to, yes, the large mobile laser cutter will drive on lava, indeed. I still have no idea what this walrus joke is, but I presume this is some sort of in-joke that I'm not familiar with. Anyway, yes, as usual, I'll quickly take my my short break, and then we will do some
Explosive action.
which will allow me to show you something else, which has been in the game for quite a while, but I haven't shown you before, because this is actually, apart from maybe Run the Gauntlet, the only level I can think of that really utilises it. And we'll also get into a vehicle with some dynamite and see precisely how big of an explosion that causes. So look forward to all of that after these commercials. Hang on, what am I talking about? We don't have adverts on the internet. No, well, no, we have adverts on the internet, of course we do. The internet is chock-a-block full of adverts. Adverts on buses are the only 2 places you can guarantee there are any adverts. Right, sorry about that. Brain fart.
Train of Rock Raiders uses dynamite by upgrading the tool store to level 2 and sending him there. Once he has been trained, use dynamite to blast your way through the hard rock in order to find the missing vehicle. When the vehicle has been found, train of Rock Raiders the driver at the support station and return the vehicle to Rock Raiders HQ.
Alright, I'll try to do that. I think actually in Manic Miners it's level 3 you have to upgrade it to, but never mind. Sorry, I got a bit confused. More cool, funky music. Right then, let us get our people down, and I can't show you the thing. Never mind. Holy shit out of my voice then. Never mind, I'll show you the thing later. I'll go back onto the standard campaign and show you that, because it doesn't seem to be functioning here. Curious. I wonder why that isn't here. Never mind, it doesn't matter. No, sorry. I got confused because the adverts on YouTube drove me to such absolute drink with how appalling all of the products and services they were advertising were. I gave into the premium adverts, whose business model seems to follow that of the mafia trying to extort you. But never mind. It doesn't matter. I got a bit confused and I was stupid. It doesn't matter though, because we've got this nice cool level, and we've got a hell of a gradient going on here. My giddy aunt. And yeah, quite a dinky little size of a map. But as I've said before, I'm pretty sure this is mirroring the original size of the levels, so I'm not overly fussed about that. Now, how the hell am I going to build a base here before this is the most higgledy-piggledy layout of buildings that we're going to have to deal with? Let me try putting my power station there, I reckon, and I'll probably put the tool store there, and we'll figure out everything else from that point, I reckon. But yes, yeah, I really rather like this level. Is it just me, or does this level seem a bit smaller than usual? I'm not sure what it is, it just physically seems a bit smaller than it did the last time I played it, which admittedly was quite a while ago, so perhaps I'm going completely stark raving bonkers. Goodness only knows it wouldn't be the first time. Alright, no, I really rather like this level, because this level for me was always the one where you sort of get yourself ready for the rest of the game, right? You bring down your 10 people and you get them all upgraded a lot so they can carry various different tools and weapons at the same time, and you get them all trained up as lots of different things, because there's a nice, decently open space here with plenty of crystals, and it's a nice safe area where you can get enough buildings and so forth that you can train people up for all sorts of various different jobs that they need to be able to do. Not entirely sure where that idea came from in the first place, probably because the brief for the mission tells you that you need to be ready to drive vehicles and also use dynamite, so that would sort of encourage you to get a bit of training done at that point. Alrighty then. Let's see what Baz has in store for us. Already quite a lot, because we can see that there is indeed something going on behind here, which is interesting. I'm also curious to see whether, in fact I'm pretty much convinced that there will be now, a more difficult path of reaching the digger, because it used to be, random side point that will be of no interest to anybody, but I tell you what this more sort of heavy metal kind of rock music reminds me of, and that is Zombie Derby. If you possibly remember that, which was a ridiculous game I played like in January of this year, where you drove this car along a little sort of uppy downy road, and you ran over zombies, and it was kind of silly and ridiculous, but also slightly adorable. It's this music reminds me of that quite heavily. Right, let me get all of this stuff reinforced. No, what I was wondering about is whether there'd be a more complicated path for accessing the digger, because in the original level you just bust through this bit of hard rock here, and then you can make your way through here and then drive it back. But looking at this solid rock that's here, I reckon it's going to be something a little bit more detailed than that. Perhaps I'll have to punch at the top here and then sort of follow this around, and then come in through the back door, as it were. So perhaps that is what is in store for us. Right, let's get a few things blown up, because I don't think we're really going to have enough crystals for getting a large drilling vehicle. But no, I am pretty curious to see what Baz is going to do with this, because this is a much beloved level, I think. And I am really rather disappointed that I can't show you the thing with this. I'll tell you what it is, actually, because there's not a hell of a lot of point in me going off and wasting time at the end of the video showing it to you if we're also going to do the dynamite thing. But what it was a kind of essential nature of some vehicles, as it were. So, you know how in some games if you've got like a companion with you who is essential for a quest line, they can become invincible, so that they can't die and thus bollock up the quest line. Well, they implemented a while ago something similar with vehicles like this. So they'd have a little yellow, I think I can't remember if it was a yellow dot or a yellow star, I can't remember, on top of them, and it meant that you were unable to teleport them away. Because of course this digger is essential for the finishing of this mission. If you were to teleport this up, like if I teleported this up now, there'd be no way to finish the level. And to the best, I was going to say to the best of my knowledge, is there a way to actually lose a level in the original Rock Raiders? This is the problem with me being such a veteran of the game. Despite being absolutely crap at every single game that I've ever played in my entire life, I'm somehow not crap enough at Rock Raiders to actually fail it completely. Because of course you got thinking about like the PS1 version of Rock Raiders, you can lose a level there if your person gets beamed up, but are there ways of actually like losing the level if you like run out of air, for example? If you beamed up all your people but also beamed up your tool store and teleport pads, there was no way to beam anybody down again. Would the level just kind of carry on motoring along, but nothing would happen, of course, because you're unable to influence events anymore? Or would there actually be like a sort of a game over screen saying you have failed? I genuinely cannot remember if any such thing exists in the original version of the game or not. No, I'm racking my brains and I can't think of a concrete example. This is the problem of being a man with a vaguely vivid imagination. I can imagine what that would look like, but I can't discern whether that's an imagined concept of what it would look like, or whether that's an actual memory from many years ago of playing the game and actually knowing that that's genuinely what it's like. So I hope you will forgive me for my overactive brain and also my underactive brain in various different bits of brain. Alright, we might be able to get... Yeah, we might be able to get a super teleport pad, actually. I have to plonk it kind of there. There we are. It's a bit of a messy place unless you put a mining laser there. Although now that you don't need the mining laser in order to get the larger mining vehicles, they're not quite as necessary as they used to be. Because again, I can't remember if I finished my thought about the laser vehicles. If not, I'll finish it now, just in case I didn't do it earlier. But yes, again, the mining laser was probably one of the least utilized buildings. I would say the mining laser and the ore refinery, but no, actually probably the mining laser and the geological center were probably the least useful, because the geological center had the problem that once you'd got it down and you'd upgraded everyone to be, or trained everyone I should say, to be a geologist, then you didn't really need it anymore, because if you get a geological center, that was an excellent enunciation of that word, if you get a geological center, then you upgrade it, its scanner is much bigger. In fact, we might get a geological center. Why not, I say? Why not? Why can't I put it there? Oh, the road is too bumpy. It is too lumpy and too bumpy. Never mind, we'll plonk it there, but I'm going to have to build a length of power path in order to actually feed the thing with power, but never mind. Because I'm kind of curious to see what's behind here, and I want to see it kind of sooner rather than later, so we will see. We'll see what happens to that. But no, I'll build one because we haven't seen one in a donkey's year or two. So let me plonk this here. There we go. Indeed. This is slightly different because I don't think this was here before. But if I remember correctly, there was a energy crystal seen there and there in the original layout of the mission. Could be wrong about that, or I might be, or I might not be. I'm not entirely sure. So please forgive me. But no, yeah, geological center and a mining laser being a bit underutilized. But there have been some suggestions recently regarding sort of additions to the game of whether we perhaps should not build our geological center on quicksand. If only we'd had a geological center before we built the geological center, we might have looked at the geology of this place and decided it was a dreadful place to build. Never mind. Yes, there's been some discussion about kind of automating the mining laser to some degree. So, for example, suppose I built a mining laser here, and or anywhere that I could build it. It could then kind of be activated by action stations, so that it could be used as a turret to defend your base. Because of course you can activate it yourself in order to use it as a turret, but people have been wondering whether it might be kind of interesting to implement a degree of automation to that. So so that would be interesting. I could imagine that being quite fascinating, like in Lava Laughter, for example. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I've kind of forced it to look like its old model. Because the old model only used to have like one square of this sort of base plate thing, rather than the two. It looked more like it did in the set rather than in the game. So yeah, they brought it back to this sort of two-piece model, except we can't really see that now because of how squiffy the Earth is. Never mind. Let's upgrade this so that we can see what's going on. So yeah, look at that. See, that geological centre is reaching all the way over here, which is really impressive and much, much bigger than what you get from just a single person. But now that you've done that, you can basically turn it off and never use it again. So I can understand why people why people feel it's a bit underutilized. But no, now that I've gone off on about 16 different tangents, I'm going to finish my thought about the lasers. So yes, in the original game, if I remember correctly, the lasers consumed crystals, I think. I don't think they drained them in the same way that a slimy slug would drain your crystal, in that you're then given a purple crystal that you can take to a recharge seam and then recharge. I think it just consumed the crystals, at least I presume that it did. I can't imagine why else I would have been so against the concept of ever using them. But in fact, I probably shouldn't tell you to drill that piece, otherwise you're going to walk through the valley of death. And that doesn't sound like a great degree of fun. How the hell are we going to drain that? Because look, this is a pickle, because there's solid rock on the other side of this. Oh, that's working now, is it? Well, thank goodness for that. Yeah, it's working fine now. It's a random bug. Goodness only knows how these things happen. Yeah, I was going to say we could get a tunnel scout and try to drill through here. But that's not actually going to do us any good. Maybe there's a pathway around the back. If we blast through here, we might be able to figure something out along there. I need to get that reinforced as well. But yeah, there's definitely a line of solid rock along here, isn't there? There's something interesting behind here, which might lead us off. So it might not be quite as long as like coming in the back here and then coming along the side. We might just be able to kind of cut in along here and then maybe come across the side or go around the back. But we definitely can't just cut directly through because of this solid rock you can see here. Lasers, yes. If I remember correctly, the lasers consumed crystals, which is why I never used them, because of course we just wanted to end the level with as many crystals as possible, rather than wasting them on laser shots. So I think draining them so that you can then recharge them later actually encourages people to use the lasers a lot more. Okay, so there's no way to blast through here. This is a dead end. Is there anything on the other side of here? No. Okay, so this is basically our only avenue of additional progression. Yes. Most curious. Let's get some people down there in order to mine this out. In fact, I'm going to send me to do that job. Because I couldn't get any more brain damage if I try, so it doesn't matter if a load of rocks fall on my bonds. Aha, yes, because I want to have a look at see what we've got here. So there's clearly some more water along the side here. Because obviously we've got ourselves this lovely little pond that we can have a nice look at. But there might be some more sources of water along the side here, although I'm not fully sure exactly where we're going to access it from, because this is another dead end. So it must be either that you come along the back here and you make use of this pathway along here, which does seem to lead all the way behind my base, and then perhaps you bust through, or you come along the other side here. It's going to be one or the other, but it's not going to be as simple as it once was. That much is certain. Just watch a bit more explosive action. This is going to be quite slow going. I have to come up with some sort of ridiculous and appalling pun about hard rock for the sake of this video's title, which is proving more and more difficult as the episodes turn into dozens of episodes. But never mind. I wonder whether I should get a... Yeah, I'm going to get a second tool store, I think, and upgrade it so that we can dispense dynamite from a tool store here to blow our way through here, instead of, because there's loads of hard rock we're going to have to work our way through. So if I bring the tool store a little closer, then the dynamite won't have to travel so far, and this can be a bit more expedient, because they're smart enough that they should dispense the dynamite from its nearest location rather than just doing it from any old tool store. So let me upgrade that so that it can dispense it, and then see what happens. It worked brilliantly, and of this I'm absolutely amazed. Right then, let's oh my giddy aunt, that bug has happened again. That is kind of an adorable bug when they sit there for a rest and they just carry on sliding across the screen. I find that rather endearing and entertaining. You know, if we did beam this up, which I feel like we're going to have to at this point, I can upgrade it further? How much more can you upgrade? How much more can I upgrade this bloody thing? Level 5. Oh my giddy aunt. Okay, that is amazing. For smaller levels, that's practically the entire bloody map. Okay, well, we know what's behind here. Giddy aunt. It's like some sort of pixel art of someone who's dropped a load of spinach and spaghetti all over the floor. Right then, let's beam that up then, because we don't really need that anymore. But those 3 crystals will give us enough that we can get like a granite grinder or a chrome crusher or something, which will speed this up a bit, because we're going a bit tardy at the minute, and I don't want this to drag on extensively. Let me shut these down, and then let's get a chrome crusher. Let's go big. Let's go exciting, and see what happens. Let's put you in there as well, because that isn't in the slightest bit dangerous. Right, no upgrade station to upgrade this thing with, but never mind. Let me track you. Oh, the vehicles have a bigger blob. Oh goodness, it is a big blob. The blobitudinous of this is exceedingly pleasing. I genuinely do wonder about some of the things that fly out of my face sometimes. This doesn't have any bizarre upgrades, does it? Oh no, we can't see the upgrades because we haven't got the upgrade station. But, never mind. Yeah, that's nice because that allows you to more easily discern. I didn't notice it before because when you're this zoomed out, it's a little hard to see. But, yeah, I like that which way should we go? I reckon we'll go this way because this is the way I know about, and we can continue to put bits of dynamite here to work our way through that as we go. So, that speeds things up a little bit. But, no, I like that the vehicle is a bigger blob, because that makes it a lot easier to discern what's a vehicle and what isn't a vehicle, and goodness knows we all struggled quite a lot to get the tracker to follow the vehicle that we were interested in rather than some person, which did cause degrees of confusion. Right, we can also use this function, which I've also just realised some of this is back to front, which is a bit weird. Like, shouldn't that K be going the other way around? I don't know. Maybe it's not a K, maybe it's a different character I don't recognise. But yes, you have this, whatever this is. I've never really found a use for this, to be honest with you. Oh, goodness! Isn't this just absolutely excellent? I shouldn't do that, really, because then I won't track it, will it? Sorry. Oh, excuse me, dear. That's what I get for sipping while I yammer on incoherently. I do sincerely apologise for that. How's the, probably should have checked this a little earlier, but how's the frame rate? Seems alright. Doesn't seem like there's anything to cry about. I hope. What was I talking about? I can't remember. I seem to remember worrying about the frame rate last week as well. Last month. I really cannot wrap my brain around the fact that I'm doing 2 types of series at the same time. It's wildly confusing. Look, we're already 50 minutes into this. If the frame rate's been bollocked, then there's not much point in fixing it now. And if the frame rate hasn't been bollocked, there's not a lot of point in me worrying about it. So why don't I just shut up and carry on with my life? Okay, we could drill through there. Or we could shoot our way through there. That would work as well, and would save us a lot of trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive this back to here, so that we can try to shoot these through, to save me having to produce a tunnel scout. I'd forgotten how much of a slowpoke you are. Never mind. Yeah, let's shoot this out just in case there's any crystals here. I somehow doubt that there will be, but it's worth a wee look. This might drain a crystal, but no, I don't think it did. Oh goodness, and there were a few spare ones. Excellent. That merits my madness rather than making me look like a muppet, doesn't it? Let me blow that up and get that to be cleared as well, so that people can hopefully get away fast enough, although now no one's going to do it in time, which is slightly a disadvantage of having the dynamite so much closer, but never mind. Ahem. Speaking of dynamite and vehicles, I find myself wondering exactly which vehicle I should get into while carrying some dynamite. Because if I get into something small like this and it actually blows it up completely, then it might ruin the level. But if I get into something big like this, then it might survive the blast, but it'll still cause a lot of damage to a rather precious vehicle. I think the simplest solution is merely to put it at the very end, and to do it with the Chrome Crusher, given that it is, as nasty as this seems to say, it is more expendable. Also, I must ask a question. It seems to me like we're doing quite a large investment for this little rescue operation. Now, when it comes to rescuing a Rock Raider, I understand, because it's a human life, right? Or a Lego man life, if Lego people are if Lego minifigures are to be considered a unique species of their own. But why are we making such a frickin' fuss over 2 crystals, right? Like, we can find 2 crystals anywhere. Goodness knows we found 35 of them here. Or did we just pick this cavern because we accidentally dropped a digger here and we decided, oh well, there's as good a reason as any to go and mine this place out. Goodness only knows how the priorities of Rock Raiders function. Thank you. At least we've got enough space to build some more buildings, if we ever fancied doing that. So we've got a couple more seams here. There's no objective about extra crystals here, is there? Nope, nothing at all. Alright. I can't remember if there's ever been a level previously where Baz has added in an additional objective. Obviously the objectives have often been heightened, like the number of crystals that you need, but I don't know as there's been any any additional objectives like find the vehicle but also collect X number of crystals. I couldn't answer that question with any degree of certainty. Right, could anybody, and I mean anybody, go and clear that rubble? I appreciate that there are other jobs with higher priorities at the moment, but, you know, clearing that is still kind of a priority. Hooray, we found the way to get through! I'm really glad I got this Chrome Crusher, actually, because we would have been here all frickin' day if we hadn't. Hooray! Yes, it's alright. I remember, thank you. Let me get somebody. Let me get you, because you always complain about these things. I didn't hear any complaints. Just because I couldn't hear them doesn't mean he wasn't thinking them. I do like, I really like the little personality they've given the little characters, the way that, like, Bandit complains if you, put him in a ground vehicle, or, Axel kind of teases Jet if he gets into an air vehicle. I find that quite entertaining. They've had these little bits of personality put into them. Hooray, we did it and everything, isn't that awesome? Right then, if you'd like to get out of that, because I know how much you detest having the solid earth underneath you. Although you'd imagine the wibbly-wobbliness of the engine would, because goodness knows this doesn't look very stable to me, would emulate the waves quite well. Alright, I reckon we're about finished in this department. Is this just loose rock? No, this is hard rock, isn't it? Yeah. Oh well, there goes that idea. I was going to think we could use the digger to drill through this area while I go off with the Chrome Crusher in order to sort out this area, but I don't think any such thing is going to happen. So let's zoom out a bit and figure what we're going to do next, because we couldn't break through there. But if there's a large river here, that could obstruct our pathways quite severely. And although saying that, we could get a ton of transport at this point. We've definitely got the crystals and all of the necessary infrastructure for it. So it's not as if we couldn't do that. But let's bust through here and have a look at this next cavern and see if that helps us solve the enigma of the river. I mean, not really, no. Alright, let's drill through the next bit of wall. And, oh goodness. Ooh, goodness, what a lovely view. Yeah, it's a river. It's a pain in the bum of a river. I don't think it'll actually be too disastrous, however, because we can go through here, which should save us a bit of time. Yeah, that should be alright. Actually, I'm going to drill those out while we're here, because otherwise we'll be wasting a whole heckin' load of time. Speaking of wasting time, let's get some people in some trucks, because I'm a wee bit sick of people standing around. I don't really have time to erect an upgrade station, but oh my giddy aren't you people are such slowpokes. That's what put you in there at this rate. No, come back, you great dingbat. Yeah, at least this will speed it up a bit, because as much as I'm not fussed about giddy aren't. No, by all means, go and have a sandwich first. As much as I'm not enthused about strip mining this entire place, I feel like it's still very necessary that we get all of the crystals. So let me get some more peeps in here. Right, let me send you over there to drill that out. Now, who isn't in a truck? I've got 4 people aren't in trucks. So let's probably shouldn't put everyone in the truck, otherwise there'll be no one to clear any rubble. But that's alright, you're going to want a sandwich, and you're going to want a sandwich. So it comes down to Jet and Bandit, the final 2 horses in the race. Which will be the one to claim the Truck of Destiny? It's going to be Bandit, because Bandit doesn't want to go for a sandwich. Well, smack me in the chops and send me to bed with no supper, because I'm wrong. He also didn't even eat a sandwich, he ate a pizza, so I wasn't just wrong, I was wrong about being wrong. Excellent. Well, Bandit, because you've humiliated me enormously, I'm not going to give you a vehicle, and you're going to have to carry on doing your work on foot. Because I hold a frickin' grudge, it seems. Get rid of that. Oh dear, Bandit. I'm sorry. To quote myself, I don't know why I'm so stupid, I just sort of am. Oh my god. There's a line of solid rock. Oh my giddy art! Trials and tribulations. How the hell am I going to do this? I'm going to need another vehicle. No. No, I don't need another vehicle. I can do this on my own. I don't need no stinking flying machines. Why I'm putting that accent on so much today, and I sincerely apologise to everybody that had to listen to it. I reckon I can do this on my own if I am a little careful and a lot sneaky. I reckon if I force myself into this corner, and then I activate my laser... How the hell do I activate my laser? Never mind. I reckon I can shoot this. I can make my way through. Excellent. And I reckon that did drain a crystal. Yes, look, there's this drain crystal, which is a kind of a scary thing to look at. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but for all of the various different forms of crystals that LEGO produced, probably mostly for the Power Miners theme rather than anything else, did they ever make a purple crystal? Because there were green crystals, and yellow crystals, and red crystals, and about 3 different shades of blue crystals, and various different metallic crystals, like silver ones and gold ones, and of course some green ones, just like a sort of dark grassy green coloured ones, as well, knocking around from somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where those came from, or whether indeed they're even official. But, oh, lovely view. But, yeah, did they ever make a purple one? Because the thing is, you'd want it to be a translucent one, so you couldn't just paint it purple. You'd have to make it out of a purple translucent plastic, which would be difficult. Although saying that, you could probably do that by maybe melting down purple lightsaber blades. You know, disarm a whole battalion of Mace Windows, but if you maybe melted down some of those lightsaber blades, maybe you could use that plastic to, like in a different mould, to make some nice purple ones, perhaps, if you were so inclined. Right then, is that all of the crystals? No, because you've got one. Please put it in there. They should have the sense to go to the closest receptacle. They do have the sense to go to the closest receptacle. Isn't this excellent? Right then, that was quite good. That was rather fun. I rather enjoyed that. I really do enjoy how much Baz sort of redesigns the levels to to challenge your original thinking and to make you go a little bit further to achieve roughly the same objectives. You know roughly what it is that you're doing, you're not entirely sure how to go around achieving that, which is pretty awesome if you ask me, and we finished right about on time. Oh no, I forgot to blow anything up! Bollocks. You want You know the really frickin' stupid thing is, I read that changelog that mentioned about blowing stuff up right after I finished making the last video, and I said to myself, every single day in the last month, I mustn't forget to blow anything up. I mustn't forget to blow anything up with a dynamite. It's really important I show people that. And I was really impressed, and I woke up this morning and thought to myself, oh, we need to do Manic Miners this morning, that I remembered to blow stuff up. And then in the video, I forgot! I'm such a frickin' twit. Which I presume isn't going to be a seamless success, it's just going to be a seamless nightmare. We'll do some of these next week. Goodness knows which ones we'll do next week, next month. Alright, is there any that start with... Let's do this one. Yes, because we've already got a couple of buildings going on here, so give me a couple of minutes. I'm just going to get us a support station and a couple of crystals and upgrade the tool store enough that we can get some dynamite out, and then we'll blow something up, right? Because I really apologise for forgetting to do that. So I apologise for being stupid. Right, I reckon we're about ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set something to get blown up. Wait for someone to grab some stuff. Axel, you're the sorry volunteer, are you? Okay then. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh bollocks. Oh, we can't go over lava? Oh. Zoom! You pay a high price, but you can automate vehicles. Oh goodness, thank you. I presume that's some sort of bug. Oh man alive, that was amazing. Okay, so we nearly killed Axel. We completely blew up the teleport pad. We damaged the tool store quite badly. We realised that Docs can jump like a gazelle, and we realised that the Hover Scout has an autopilot feature that we never knew existed before. Excellent. I'm really glad no one else wants to go and deal with that. Oh man alive. They say when you work in show business you should end things with a bang, and goodness knows that was a bang. Right. Okay, thank you very much for joining me for the absolute bedlam that has been this month's episode of Baz Mod. I hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night. Oh, that's hot! Ah! Sorry, I was going to do a stupid joke about adverts. I have to cut that bit out now. Hang on a minute.